What's up, YouTube? This is Theifs at enough 187. This is another video to do with Is Uncharted 4 a Thief's End the game we all been waiting for? And another video from Dave. And yeah, pretty much, before I get in the whole thing about Uncharted being the game, possibly we've all been waiting for that first big game. Just like last generation, with the 360, when Gears of War came along, blew everybody away. There it was. There's your first game that really defines the generation, I guess you'd say. But before I get in all that, I want to give a shout out to Sentries Gaming, Black Hawk Down, and Sentries, which you all know him as Armored, aka Armored. They did a podcast last night called, on their channel, Sentries Gaming, Battle Talk Episode 2, Sniper Discussion and News on Battlefield 1. I'm going to leave their channel and podcast linked in the description. It was fantastic. I think you guys will really enjoy it. They're, very knowledgeable when they come. That's one thing I like about Armored and Black Hawk. They're very knowledgeable and know, backstory to a lot of stuff. To do with, I talked to, Armored about comic book stuff. He knows all this shit about comic books. They looking into both of them, Black Hawk and Sentries. They like to look into all the information, the ins and outs, this person who said what, this developer of this thing. Kind of like Silver Sky 545, David Maddox. He likes how the game's made and everything. I like playing the games, you know what I'm saying? Now, when it comes to comic books and all that stuff, then I'm really interested in all, backstory. Same thing, I am with games, just not as much as, movies and comic books and all that. I just like playing them and giving you my experience, that's all. I mean, I'd like to tell you what I see, I don't... Yeah, to me, with a lot of these developers, they lie to you. I'm sorry. They're telling you not every developer, but most of them, they're telling you a bunch of bullshit. I mean, one time, David, he was all into the order, and he's telling me how when a glass breaks, you're going to see every piece shatter, and it's going to all, dynamic something shattering. Don't quote me on that, but did we see that? I don't think so, but who knows? But yeah, shout out to Sentries Gaming, Battle Talk Episode 1, Sniper Discussion and News on Battlefield 1. Link to that podcast will be in the description. And another shout out to Big Dread and the Dream Team. They did a podcast yesterday. Their podcast will be linked in the description. It was a great podcast. Everybody I support, you guys know I support them. Try to get their shit out there. Link to the Dream Team podcast also in the description. Shout out to Big Dread and everybody a part of the Dream Team. Fist me, all of them. Shout out, guys. Shout out to you guys. All right, is Uncharted the game we've all been waiting for, pretty much? Is it the game, like I said, like last generation with the 360, that first big game that came along like Gears of War that defined, the generation for the Xbox 360? Would I say Uncharted, has that, possibility to do that? The possibility to do that. Yes. This game is fucking phenomenal. It's like a solid package. You got a great single player and you got a great multiplayer all in one. I haven't seen really a game this generation do that. Where it's blowing everybody away. Now, Doom is a phenomenal game too, but I don't think that's going to blow everybody away because it's a very fast-paced game. Very fast-paced. I'd say it's one of the, if not one of the fastest games I've ever played. It's really quick. Everything's really quick. But that's, from the other Dooms, I think this one's faster, but that's just me. But I don't think, not everybody's into that. Uncharted has a great story that just pulls you in. Everybody's saying, oh, the brother was thrown in there. Bullshit. That's how they made the fourth one. It made a great story. Don't tell me, one thing you guys gotta understand, when something continues for a long period of time, let's say like a TV show, it continues for a long period of time, they gotta get creative. That's all there is to it. It's not like they gave you a bullshit story. Yeah, they added the brother, you didn't hear about him before, but they didn't throw him into the mix like a lot of people are saying they just forced him into the story. They did a good job of putting him into that story, in my opinion. From what I played so far, still on the 8th chapter with Doom and everything coming out. I've been playing more of the multiplayer of Uncharted, but the single player is phenomenal. I did not beat it yet, but from everybody I talked to, too, that finished it, there's no people disliking this single player. And from what I played so far, it's fantastic. It just sucks. They put us in such a, this week, it's great, and it sucks at the same time. We got Doom and Uncharted, and then you got Shadow of the Beast next week. It's crazy. All these games are coming out at once, and you got games like Overwatch and Battleborn. Even Overwatch, I'm kind of interested in. It looks interesting. I have not played the beta yet, but I still seem interested in it. But going back to Uncharted, the multiplayer that's the reason I didn't finish the fucking single player. The multiplayer is so good. This is the first multiplayer this generation where I could say, oh man, I want to play that. Every time I look at my PlayStation, there it is. This game is a system seller. I don't care what anybody says to you. There's going to be some people that don't like it, but the mass audience is most likely going to like this game. It's just like The Last of Us. When The Last of Us came out, that game blew people away. Everybody got, you had Nintendo fans hating on it. You had Microsoft people hating on it because it's a fucking good game. When you got that fan base hating on a game like that, like they did The Last of Us, they knew it was a good game. Me, on the other hand, with The Last of Us, I just got burnt out on it. But Uncharted, I even have to go this far. I think Uncharted's better than The Last of Us multiplayer, believe it or not. Maybe because I'm just tired of The Last of Us. If they came out at the same time and had the next-gen graphics, I don't know. Both these games are on a high level. They're both great games, both story-wise and multiplayer. Naughty Dog knows what they're doing. Just next time with Naughty Dog, I know they're going to do The Last of Us 2, but after that, I want to see them go in a different direction. I don't want to see the same type of, these games look very similar. I'm just saying, but I love them both, but I know they're going to make The Last of Us 2, and that's fine. But next time I want to see them go in a different, art style direction. I want to see a different direction. I want to see what they can do, this generation, something different, you know what I'm saying? But I would have to say right now, Uncharted 4 multiplayer is my favorite multiplayer. I enjoy Doom, but it's not on the level of Uncharted, the multiplayer. Single player, I'm having a blast with. I still did not finish both single players. I'm about the same spot in both of them. Just the multiplayers are hard to get off of. But if you're for first-person shooters, Doom is it right now. That's what I'm saying. Doom is the game if you like fast-paced stuff. But Uncharted, hands down, it's a system seller. It's a game of the generation. It might be the best game this generation. I don't know what else, how the generation's been and what we've been getting. It's starting to pick up now, but I'm sorry. I think Uncharted, I will say this, Uncharted will be the first game that came along this generation. No Splatoon, no Super Smash Brothers, no Mario Kart, no. Those games don't even stand on the level of this game right now. This is a game where people you have fucking Wii U weirdos selling their Wii U and buying the Uncharted 4, and the console, or the Nathan Drake collection to play Uncharted 4. That shows you how great this game is. The power this game's got over the Wii U weirdos. They're just putting their shields down, finishing, the battle, walking off the battlefield, joining Sony. No, actually surrendering to Sony. But yeah. Microsoft fanboys, they can't say shit. You got some crap gamer basically, trying to compare Tomb Raider. Even though Tomb Raider was my game of the year, the one thing Tomb Raider didn't have was a great multiplayer like this. And I'm sorry, even story-wise, Tomb Raider, in my opinion, isn't. This game just, for some reason, the melee combat's really great. I love Rise of Tomb Raider. It is my game of the year last year, but it's not on the level of Uncharted 4. I'm sorry. As much, that you really look at this game graphic-wise, you're like, wow, this is a game you'd actually sit there and say, wow, this is what the PS4 is all about. It's kind of like The Order. The only thing The Order was lacking, and I love The Order, was gameplay. This got gameplay. Now, in the beginning, you can say it's a very story-driven game. You can say there's a lot of story, and there's melee combats, but it's actual gameplay. You're playing it, It's not like The Order where you got all these damn cutscenes. It ain't that bad, No, this is a full-fledged game, and a lot of my friends that have finished the single player, like I said, I've been playing the multiplayer and just been glued on it. They said it was a phenomenal game, no questions asked. This is the first game of this generation. I think this game's gonna sell between 4 and 6 million in my prediction. But this is the first game that came along this generation, maybe possibly the only game that's going to come along this generation outside of The Last of Us 2. And I know I'm sounding like a Naughty Dog fan, but I'm not. I'm not like a fanboy of Naughty Dog. I like Naughty Dog, but not on the level of some people I know. Silver, Sky, Dreadhead. No, but anyways. Yeah, this is the first game that's come along this generation that really blew us away, and Naughty Dog did it. Like I said, it wasn't nothing from Nintendo, it wasn't nothing from Microsoft. Halo didn't do it, Halo 5, what else have they released? Quantum Break, sad to say, didn't do it. Good game, both great games, Halo 5 and that, but they just didn't do it. Same thing with Nintendo, Smash Brothers, great game. Mario Kart, Super Mario World 3D, but they just didn't have the level of, Uncharted 4. It's the total package. Great multiplayer, great single player, has replayability, that's going to bring you back, that multiplayer. It's just a fucking blast. You could swing in this one. You can, I'm getting awesome with the fucking pistol. If you watch my latest live stream with the pistol, I'm actually getting good. And that's another thing I'm enjoying about it. I'm getting good at this game. Lately I suck at shooters. I always play fighting games and shit. But it's just because I haven't got interested in a shooter in a while, like a multiplayer type ways. And I've been playing Doom too. Doom's been getting me interested. But other than that, I just haven't been interested in shooters. I guess I needed a break or something. I have a lot of buddies on here that played The Last of Us, and I used to love me and One Stop for Gamers and Procrastination and Blackula. We used to all play, and Tay Rogers. We used to all play McNeil. We used to all play in The Last of Us, and I was pretty good back then. And even on PS3, I was really good. That's when I really played it. But I just got burnt out on it. But this is something new and refreshing. It's a blast. You want to have a team because when you're playing, other people are going to be on teams most likely, and they're just going to be going around raping you. It's not like a one-man army. You got to stick with your group, and if you stick with your group, you'll go far. If you're playing with somebody halfway decent, like I do, Big Dread, Silver Sky, Dreadhead, Baltimore, Fist Me, which is now Bear, AK Bear Hugger, Procrastination, people like that. You got to play with people that, Aussie Gamer, CM Punk, Frozen Magma, people that can actually play the game. You don't play with some scrub or something. No, just as long as you got a team and guys that can shoot halfway decent, you'll be fine. But it's not a one-man army. But that's my video, guys. Tell me what you think in the comment section. Do you agree this video went on too long? Longer than I expected. But it's just a great game. That's all there is to it. You can't take that away from it. You got literally, like I said, you got Wii U weirdos on the battlefield against Sony, putting their shields down, surrendering to Sony, buying the Nathan Drake collection or the Uncharted 4, bundle, just because the game's so great. It basically, defeated the side of Nintendo. It finally sunk the rest of the weirdos. There's still a few on the battlefield, don't know what they're doing, holding their shield, about ready to be slaughtered. But, that is expected. But yeah, like I said, shout out to Sentries Gaming. Like I said, check out their podcast. It's great. It's episode 2. They're very informed. I know you guys pick at me for not being informed. These guys are informed. Dream Team Podcast in the description. Great podcast. Both great podcasts. And that's my video, guys. Like I said, tell me in the comments section, not podcast, in the comment section, what do you think of Uncharted? Is this the game of the generation? Did you sell your Xbox One like Grimpachi to get the PS4 to play Uncharted 4? Did you sell your Wii U like Alex, Active Gaming Sin, to play this game? Tell me in the comment section. More videos come. Thank you, YouTube.